Hello. So while we're waiting for more people to join us on the live, oh, it looks very bright here. I'm going to give you a little tour. I'm Gemma from Evolve, and we are here in the Evolve office. So while it takes a few people to get on, hi Steph, I'll just give you a little tour. Right, so here, sort of like, have all of our costumes for our clients to see, which is lovely. And then over here, normally put away, but our giant chandelier prop. And then up there, which I'll show you in a second, is a great rehearsal and video space that we've got. Hi Dawn, hi Josh, hi Kitty, hi Seth. And then through here, we have basically all of our costumes. So, including our ringmaster, lovely. And then over here, just a lovely massive shutter, which is actually quite useful. We've only been in this office for, well, actually almost a year now, but we found it just brilliant for like demonstrating to clients, showing them props live, etc., etc. And then this is the office. Ta-da! Oh, hello. With our people working, obviously not Tor, because she works for a different company.
I'm working so hard right now.
I know. But yeah, so you get the idea. Lots of pictures, lots of desks. We've got a few people watching. I'm very excited.
Should we set up properly?
Yeah, let's set up. Lovely. Hi Jade. Hi Claire. Oh, got lots of people watching.
Awesome. Hi guys.
9 people.
Shall we introduce ourselves properly before we get going then?
Yes. So, hi, Gemma from Evolve Entertainment.
I feel like it's like a school presentation.
Official.
Hi, I'm Tor.
Hi.
I'm 28. I like gin, reptiles, and shiny things. Which I think might be my Instagram bio.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tor here representing Flambe Circus. So we're here today to do your kind of agency based questions. I know there's been quite a few that have been coming in so far, so pop them down here, we'll read them out. We have a few we've already got to get going with, but yeah, so anything to do with how we operate, how you can help get on agents' books, kind of questions that you want to know about agents, really. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, pick our brains. Oh, so far we've had hi, hey.
Hi Claire.
Good questions.
Good,
but yeah,
really
we've got some that people have sent in advance, which we'll read out and then let you know what we think. But yeah, if you have any other questions, then let us know. We'd be happy to help.
Should we start on question number 1?
Yeah, let's start on question number 1.
So this has come from, we've got one from Mark Lavelle. Hi Mark, you're normally like the live queen.
Yeah, straight on it.
Queen? King.
No, he likes driving.
Oh, you do? If you're not driving, I guess you're not live. But we know that you're like a pro at this. So his question was, how do you stand out, or what makes a standout performer? So for me, I mean, obviously skill level is important, but as an agent, a thing I really look out for is people that are reliable. Because I very much don't want to use someone once and then never use them again or speak to them again. I really think it's important to have a good relationship with your performers. So if I can rely on you to do a good job and to turn up on time and reply to your emails, that's like my favourite thing ever in a person.
Yeah, and I completely agree, because for us, if you imagine we're sitting in our office trying to get things done, and if you ask us lots and lots and lots of questions, questions that we've already written on your confirmation, or on the day, like WhatsApping me, for example, on a Saturday when actually Claire or another member of staff sent your confirmation, and whatever you've asked is actually there for you to read, because we try and make confirmations, like we don't write them just for fun, as thorough as possible. And I'm always quite thorough with asking girls, are you happy to wear this? Make sure you do this, this and this. And obviously sometimes things change, but to make yourself stand out, I think you know, if you see one performer who's obviously in charge and is like holding all the bags, if you like help them and you're polite, and you know, obviously skill is really important. And you know, I have some performers which are so talented, who just come in to do their show, but I have other performers, especially like hostesses, stilt walkers, that we have hundreds of. So to make yourself stand out as, like, I'd say like quite a generic performer, go in that little bit extra mile. Like if we ask you, could you stay on your set for 5 minutes, rather than turning your nose up and be like, I'm supposed to go.
Going the extra mile is absolutely the thing. Like, we never want to take the piss out of you guys, because you're the people that make our agencies work. You are the most important people to us. But ever so often, things will overrun or go a little bit late, and anyone that is ever willing to just go, I don't mind being out there for a little bit longer, or I don't mind doing that for you, it really makes a difference. And they're the kind of people that we remember. Like, even just things like carrying bags. The amount of times that I've been, because I'm a bit of a pack horse, I'll load myself up with everything, but like, I can do it all at once.
Don't worry.
No, don't worry, I can do it. And the amount of times that I'll have a million things and no one will offer to help carry anything, and you're just like, common courtesy.
Yeah, because I don't mind, it's not your job, but I'd say that especially if you're a generic performer, if you want to make yourself stand out, just doing little things like that. Or for example, if you can see we're super busy, you've gone off and got water, and you're like, oh hi Gemma, I've just got water for everyone.
Have initiative.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Thinking
Have
outside
initiative.
the box, bringing what you're supposed to bring. If you reading your confirmation when we send it,
that we'd be expecting.
Oh yes,
do the thing that we are thinking you're going to be doing, please. That's probably the one thing.
You know, because for example, if you're a dancer and your only job is to bring a pair of tights, and I'm a bit like OCD, and I always write, make sure you've got no holes in them, because you just think that's standard, but almost every time someone's like, oh sorry, they've got 10 holes in them. So I'd rather know that when I send your confirmation, because I can pack you a pair, or I could order you a pair. Because if you're prepared, it makes our job easier, and you're then more employable.
In fact, that ties in nicely into the next question, which is also from Mark, which is, if you could teach performers one thing about your job, what would it be? And like you were saying about, we need to know these things, it's basically, we're very busy in the office, and time is 100% of the essence to an agent. So if you're not checking your emails every single day, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff from us. So it's things like, at least check them a few times a day to make sure. But it's like, I have some people I'll email and they don't reply for like 6 days, and by that point the event has confirmed and contracted and gone to another performer completely. I mean, most things can have a turnaround time of a day sometimes, but yeah, things that we're looking from performers. Oh, Josh Morris, that was from me. Sorry, am I allocating your questions to someone else?
They can hear us then. I was worried then it was on the mat and they wouldn't be able to hear us then.
Sorry, Josh, that was your question, darling.
Sorry, Josh.
It was a very good question.
It was good. And I was going to say, with regards to just like making sure you go the extra mile, making sure you stand out, obviously that goes after just sort of replying, making sure you check your emails, because like Tor was saying, when people don't get back to us for a long period of time, it's only yourself that's going to miss out, or you know, it's going to just go to somebody else and there's nothing we can do. So yeah, what, have we got any other questions?
Well, we've had a few that popped up. So we've also got Mr. Goldball has logged on. Hello, John. Hope you're having a nice evening.
Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
We've got Aaron, and I believe we have a question from Aaron as well. In fact, I might just read this one out from here.
And John. Hi, John.
Hey, John Udry. Hey, our spinning plate buddy. It's an in joke. Hilarious. Anyway.
That's like when I said, let's do the tour, and Tor was there, but that's again an in joke.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
We thought we'd start the video. If you missed that, if you've logged on,
it was never be repeated. So good.
Watch the first 3 minutes of this video of me giving a tour of the Evolve office, and she featured in every section.
I did.
Apart from the toilet.
Fancy. So Aaron's question, apart from the toilet, Aaron's question was, so he's trying out some new stuff basically, and was wanting to know about the market for it before kind of putting more money and time into it, which is always a really, really good thing. So well done you, because like you say, you being performers, we're not often 100% flush with stuff, and taking money is a thing when you're developing a new act. So it's a good idea to kind of have a look around at markets and stuff before considering about kind of pushing a new thing forwards. So your question was quite specific about aerial rigs. So if we supply them or if we need people to have their own. Kind of a bit of a mix with that one. I mean, a lot of venues will have, well, some will have venue capability anyway for rigging there. If you do have your own rig, it's always a massive bonus. But I don't really know.
I would say almost every aerial job I've done, it's just literally a hook in the ceiling. So a lot of events, because we just do event entertainment, there would be a production company, and the only thing is, I would just say, if you're using someone else's rigging, you don't know if it's tested, you don't know how long it is. So for me, if you're worried about investing in equipment, I would email, say, your top 5 agents and say, this is what I'm looking to do. Would it be something you're interested in? Because you don't want to invest in something and everyone's like, no, we never really get inquiries for that. But if you get the feedback that everyone is interested, I would just come fully prepared yourself, because even if a venue says, oh yeah, we've got loads of rigging, and then you turn up and it's not there and you can't do your act, even though that's not your fault, you're going to end up with an unhappy client and an unhappy agent.
And it depends a bit as well, I think, about what market you're pitching yourself to. Because I know if your act sounds pretty exciting, which is, just for everyone else there, this is pretty exciting.
This is very
was
unique.
like to... he does fire staff and is learning to hang himself by his jaw. That sounds very painful. If I can combine them together, I believe I'll be the only person doing so. Does this have a market, and is it something that either Flambe or Flambe Circus would have interest in, as I don't want to spend a few £1,000s on an aerial rig unless I believe it has a potential market. So yeah, good diligence for checking things out. But it depends where you're aiming for, because I know like a lot of like high-end club venues, for example, a lot of them will have their own rigging because of having to have lighting trusses and everything like that. I know a lot of corporate venues often don't have that, so having your own rig would be of benefit. But then there's a whole load of issues that come with having your own rig too, because you often have to be there at the beginning of an event and wait until the very end to pack it down.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh, hi Sarah.
Sarah's here. Woo-woo.
More people. So that's something to consider with aerial rigs, is actually there's quite a lot of logistics that goes into that, and having to be prepared to often get there before an event starts and have to wait till the very end to pack it down.
Yeah, and I would also say, just if I was going to market that act, almost 80% of my venues don't allow fire. So I would, if you're going to do that act, also have like an LED alternative.
Yeah.
Because obviously, again, if you're going to invest in a lot of equipment and you're maybe performing in a listed building or, you know, a hotel or something, you want to make sure you have like a non-fire alternative. But it sounds very exciting. And make sure you get insured and do a lovely risk assessment for that one.
Oh, we love a good risk assessment. If you can come prepared with your own risk assessment, we'll love you forever. He said it's not that uncomfortable, surprisingly. You're going to have to send us a video now.
Just send us a photo or a video.
Just so I know. And
great.
hi, Sarah Turner.
Hi, girls.
Right,
Hi.
let's see about
Sarah, do you have any questions?
It's like, no, I know it all. Right, next question.
Okay, which one's this?
This one here.
What's the worst thing a performer can do to an agent? Okay, I'll go first on this one, unless it's happened to me twice. I would say personally, there's so many things a performer can do. However, for me, if you are contracted on an abroad booking and your flight has been booked and you've agreed to everything, and you know it's just before the event, obviously if there's an emergency or something, it's different. But just to like change your mind and not come or not reply to emails, and then we as agents, obviously we can't disguise it, because in the UK we don't normally, unless requested, send, I don't know about yourself, but I don't send full names of performers. I just say 2-time stick walkers, 2-time jugglers, because then if a booking is confirmed 7 months in advance, and you know sometimes naturally performers get changed in the UK, and that's fine, but abroad
different rules.
It's different rules, and you know, especially when it's really, really long haul, and maybe like we have to then buy a whole new flight because the flight's already been ticketed because it's 48 hours before or something like that. So for me, there's lots of things you can do, but I think that's up there with a really bad one, because the client knows, because there's a new name, and then we obviously probably make a loss on that booking, and then we damage our reputation.
Things, you're definitely not going to be popular in our offices. Before I answer with my thoughts, hello Maria, what you beautiful lady.
Are you in the UK, Maria?
No, she's had all the good news and stuff. It's very exciting. I will give you a call after this, okay? I promise.
I've got a live question.
I'm going to answer my thoughts before we get carried away.
Sorry.
So, worst thing a performer can do to an agent, I've got a few. So first one would be stealing clients.
Oh yes,
that's
good one.
Terrible, and a massive, massive no-no. Like, we have spent often years cultivating these relationships that we've got with it might be another agent above us, or it might be just an end client, but they're often very important to us, and obviously we get a lot of work from them. The worst thing I think that you can do is try and go to them directly.
I love you so much.
Love you too, Maria.
It's probably to you, but I love you, Maria.
But yeah, I get so frustrated with that because it's just like they've just come in and pinched this relationship that I have built, and you'll often get one gig out of it, and that's it.
And then they'll come back.
Yeah, it's just not worth it because we will never use you again.
Yeah.
If anyone pilfers someone, we just won't go there again.
Yeah,
but like you're saying, not turning
broken.
up, that is a pretty awful thing. If you don't turn up to your gig and there's not a valid excuse for it.
I understand sometimes. I've had it twice with male performers, male sit-walkers. Not branding all male sit-walkers, but it's just randomly happened both times where both guys were in the gym, like on separate different, like I think they were a year apart, these events, and I have a check-in system, and lots of performers are like, why do I need to check in when I get to a job? And this is why, because when I didn't receive, Sarah was at that event, weren't you, Sarah? When a performer didn't check in, and then I'm like, oh, it's like 20 minutes after they should have been there, rang them, and he was like, oh my God, I'm in the gym. So, things do happen, and there are mistakes, and we understand that, trains get cancelled, etc., but we're all human, and we all understand, but just over-communicate. Tell us, update us, and then we can then manage expectations to our event. But if we're just like kept in the dark, or you just don't show up, if you're planning on not showing up, just send us a message, even though it's a bit crap.
At least we can try and sort it. Yeah, that's the worst thing for us. John's had an interesting point based on this. How do you protect from client stealers? Well, we can't really. It all comes down to trust at the end of the day, and that's I would say one of the most important things that we can have with a performer as well, is have trust there. I hope that everyone that I put out on an event will be doing a good job for us, putting our name out there in a good light, hopefully getting repeat work for everybody. And if you do a good job, I will put you on that event again. So it's kind of win-win for everybody. But there is just trust that you won't steal them.
Yeah, or I find that this has happened with quite a few performers who have stolen jobs from fellow agents or friends of mine, and they apply to me all the time to work, like, hey Gemma, I could do that, hey Gemma, I could do that. And I don't actually employ them because of what they've done to someone I know. So actually by doing that, you not only ruin your relationship with, say, Flambe Circus, then Flambe will ring me up and say, just FYI, and word spreads, and then suddenly you're only getting work from one agency and you're wondering why, because you're beautiful and talented, but maybe it's because you stole a client and then everybody knows about it. So I just say that, don't look at the short-term gain, look at the long-term gain, because we've all been approached, and I'm always just like, this person's approached me, really awkward, you can still have me.
There are easy ways of solving it, like, the amount of times that I think Helena might have had a point about this actually.
Maria, both of you, of course.
See more. Even if they don't get that one gig off the client might well let us know that someone's tried to go direct. So we all talk, basically.
Especially us.
Especially us. But yeah, there's...
Or they can show, this is what happened to me. I had a client that I was friends with and I worked with for 7 years, and then another agent emailed saying, I know you use Gemma from Evolve, but I can do it way cheaper. He just forwarded me that email.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff will happen.
They didn't get the client, and then I was aware of it and I had proof. So,
and we know that a lot of the times we'll have to give your direct numbers out to each other and everything, so clients will end up with your direct number, and I get it all the time. I'll done an event, done a good job, the client will then call me directly and say, I want to book you back next year, and you just have to be clear about it and go, oh, that's really great, I'll pass your details on to whoever and they can deal with it, because again, you want to cultivate that relationship with your agent more than a one-off client, because if you get a good agent, they are going to give you 10 times more work over many years than just this one person you might get a few things off. Plus
you probably still get that job anyway because they want you. It just goes through the agent, so you don't really lose out.
And Marie, I think you're right. So is it worth giving these people feedback so they kind of know not to do it again and know why they're not getting booked? Yeah, I mean, if I found out that someone had gone directly to an agent and we'd lost out on bookings, I would send them an email and just kind of say what you've done is kind of inappropriate. And it's a breach of contract, so they're technically breaching their contract if they do that anyway. Both of them are, and I know a few people have had this recently with performers that they've used for a long time, that you'd kind of find that as unexpected.
I think anything major, like you've tried to steal a client or you've not turned up for a flight, obviously I would just send an email, and normally it would start with, you can release all future dates from Evolve Entertainment because of the below, because obviously they might just be like, oh, is the Dubai job happening? Is the London job happening? And I'm like, no, I've taken you off all work because of this. However, when it's like all the sort of smaller grey areas, I never like to make a really big deal, especially if it's someone that I don't employ regularly, and I make a note, so then when I then get a future job for them, it might be in a year's time, I then say, just FYI on the last job, da la 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 la, because then it's fresh in their mind as well. And you know, everyone's always going to think they're in the right and you're not in the right, but they always say like walk a mile in the person's shoes. And I wish, you know, some performers have helped me out in the office, like Carly and Sarah, a few other people. Once you sit down in our shoes for a day, you'll realise, you know, we could had a relationship for 10 years and you just ruined it by something you've done at an event. So yeah, just, you know, just treat everyone like, you know,
just
like
be
to
nice.
be treated. Just be nice.
I think there was a question a little bit further up from Sarah Turner. So on to a different topic.
Yes.
Should performers get regular pictures and videos done? I'm going to leave this to you, Media Queen.
Yes, please. And also, for example, if I say, hi, can you send me your portfolio pictures, and you've dyed your hair from blonde to red, that you tell me, and try and get new photographs to be able to send out. I understand that portfolio shoots are expensive, but at least if you have like one shot that looks semi-professional, that's not a selfie, that would be ideal. But I think what surprises me the most from performers who say their full-time job is, say, contact juggling, and their last video was 9 years ago, and it's filmed, you know, like portrait, and it's uploaded to YouTube, and it's really far away. And I just think phones are so high quality now, you could just put it like still, or get someone to film yourself like a more updated video, because at the end of the day it's only going to benefit you. So the more content you have, especially relevant content that, you know, isn't too long-winded and shows the costume you're going to be in and shows how you look now. Because, you know, I a lot of the time, especially for model dancers, when they send me, you know, a professional email, CV, photographs, lovely, I then just have a quick look on Facebook just to see if they've chopped all the hair off, or, you know, if that photo shoot was 9 years ago, and, you know, it's a recent one. So I think, Sarah, an answer, yes.
Yeah. And if you are like a performer, say like a stilt walker, and you do have a lot of your own costumes and you get new ones, send us photos.
Let us know. We're not psychic.
No, we love to know about these things.
As well.
And I mean, to be fair, we're guilty for this as well, because it is a tough thing to try and keep up on with your media. And we have tons of costumes that nobody knows exist, because it is a hard thing to do. So that's something that I think probably everyone can improve on, to be fair.
But then if you're a full-time performer, you know, and you've got 3 days off, just literally set your camera up and take a few pictures against a plain wall, and then just say, I'm sorry this isn't a professional shoot, but just these are all my costumes, pop them in my folder, because I don't know about yourself, but we just have folders for people.
Yeah, so folders.
And then at least we know, we could then potentially get that booked on a job. So yeah. Oh, we've got lots of questions.
We have lots of questions. So this one is quite a good one from Josh, actually. How can a new performer get your attention when getting in touch for the first time? I think for this one, it's all about playing to your strengths. If you know that you're really bubbly and you like to talk to people either face to face or on the phone, give us a call. That's definitely going to be something that will kind of stick us.
Don't call me.
Not this one, clearly. That will stick in our minds. Like, obviously, like email, send over loads of media, because we love media. So getting to go through loads of photos of everything is super advantageous. And kind of, let us know. If you drive, that's really important. Drive where you are in the country. Oh yeah, and own a car.
That's also a good one.
Good point.
You can drive, but you also have a vehicle.
They're the first things that I'll ask if I get back to you, is where you're based in the country, if you drive and have your own car, and your list of skills. Any media support that is perfect. But yeah, if you do want to kind of get to know people a bit more, either organise, if you're not nearby, like pop into the office or something.
Yeah, that's always good.
It's really good, because like we have a lot of people will get in touch, and it is kind of easy, I think, to fall to the bottom of a pile maybe. So I think, anything that makes you stand out, something like a phone call or being, I'd love to come and see you. So being performers, we're on the road a lot, so you're potentially driving past us at some point. Pop in.
Yeah, just say
make
hi.
You a cuppa, have a little chat.
Nice. I think for me, I've had a lot recently, people ringing me and then finding me personally on Facebook and sending me multiple messages saying like, hi Gemma, I've sent your CV, I haven't had a reply, ? Hi Gemma, sorry, it's been a long time, you haven't got back to me.
I already know knowing this.
And then I'm like, hi person, I have 80 emails in my inbox, 3 meetings today, Facebook Live, the lovely tour, and all sorts going on, and you've basically just told me that you're an annoying performer that's just going to constantly question me before I've even had a look at your video. So for me, I'd rather a professional email with your skills, driving, all of that, CV, and then just say, if you know, for example, to make yourself stand out, and you think, oh, they're just going to ignore my email or drag it into a folder, which is sometimes we're guilty of. You could say, you know, if you have any upcoming photo shoots or anything I could help out with, because I think that's always good, because then you're showing, oh, I could come in. Or
again, it's the whole taking the initiative and going the extra mile thing. Like, we really appreciate
Susie.
people that do that. Oh, that's new. Yeah, Lucas.
Hi, Lucas.
Hey, Lucas.
Hi.
How you doing? But yeah, I think people that just make effort, because I'm very much like a people person and a people pleaser. I think we all are if we're in the entertainment industry, because we're there because we want to make people happy. And well, that's why I'm in the industry, because I want to make people happy. So I think if you're willing to kind of like go the extra mile and show us that you're that kind of person, I will instantly be more like wanting to help you by giving you more events. So
a to the point email, which is professional, not just like, hey, I'm a dancer, get that lot. Brilliant. I'm not going to reply to you, because like for me, I you know, even though I have the odd dance work, I'm not really a dance agent. So quite often my reply is, I'm not really a dance agent. However, if you do ballet on point, I have a ballerina act, or if you know, a contortionist, or you've got a particular act or costume, let me know. But I literally, even if I have a gig with 50 dancers, I could put it on Facebook and fill it in 2 minutes. So unfortunately, if you're a dancer, you will have a harder time to make yourself stand out, because I would just apply to dance agents, you know, because every now and again I use dancers, but I use the dancers I already know and I have a rapport with.
I think again it's about kind of looking at your markets a bit as well, like we kind of talked about earlier, and kind of figuring out where you want to aim yourself, because like entertainment is such a broad industry.
I love those emails. Hey, I'm a dancer.
Here's a photo from 2009.
Here's a photo of me with different hair.
We don't age. We all look the same forever, Maria. But I've been distracted by your fun comment. What was I talking about?
I'm sorry, I did that because I read it out.
Oh, it's all right. Maria, you're just a distracting person. I'm sure you probably know that anyway. No. Oh yeah, your market. So finding where you want to be in it, because the entertainment industry, you've got weddings, you've got corporates, you've got club stuff, you've got family like carnivals. They are so varied with what they require, and there'll be different agents for it as well. So I think it's worth kind of going, oh, you know, like I really enjoy kind of kids entertainment stuff. You can easily look around and find venues that are a bit more suited to that. And again, if you're looking for more kind of like club based stuff, like for example, like Flambe, we don't do as much of that, but there's certain agents like Sensation, who is Maria's one, and like you do some kind of like high-end club bits as well, and it's just sometimes you're more corporate now as well.
I've done one in a year, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Not so much, but it's finding out who's
researching the company first. So basically, if you're applying to me, then you would say, you know, this is a corporate act. If you're applying to Flambe, obviously we both do corporate, but you know, they specialise a lot more in like circus-based, family-friendly, etc. So just do a little bit of research, because again, if you start your first sentence off like, oh my god, loved your event that you did, blah blah blah, it's going to attract, like, you know, attract my attention. That's probably the one way I'm mumbling my words now. It's going to get my attention rather than like, hello without a name. Like, look on the page and just research who's in the company on our website, go on the Meet the Team page and actually address it to somebody, and then write a sentence that applies to our agency. Because again, like, if you're sitting there sending out loads of emails, that's made me think of something as well. When someone sends you an email and in the to subject there's like 200 like event companies, they're like, hi, and it just says generic, and you know, bye.
We like to feel special, so if we can see that you've CC'd in like 50 other people,
make
not
us
so
feel
much
special. And it, you know, I understand it saves time, and you could probably do that with agents that are quite similar. However, you know, really, if you take time on 5 emails, you'll probably get a lot more work than CCing in 200 agents.
Yeah.
And also, you're not supposed to do that now with all the rules of email address sharing.
No.
Oh, this is not a question, more of an appreciation.
Oh, we like them.
Ah, thanks.
Another question. Okay, this is an interesting one.
Oh, yes. How many hours a week do you work? December or January? No.
Every hour that the day gives us, where I'm not sleeping, which is not very much in the summertime.
Yeah, it depends. Obviously, like, you know, for me, since I've moved offices, we've now got a bigger space to work, etc., etc. I do try and like, right, okay, now it's time to go home and switch off. However, I think when you're passionate about something and you enjoy it, I think sometimes, I'll finish doing emails because maybe I've done 8 hours worth of emails, but I'll be like, oh, I've got these costumes I could make, or this video I need to do, and you will end up working in the evening as well. And then obviously we also go to events and either perform or event manage.
Yeah.
So I think it's really like we could work 5 days a week, 9 to 5, but we choose not to because we enjoy our job.
It's definitely not a 9 to 5, is it? So I think
could be. There's people that work,
but we
for
do
me
more
work
because we
9
want
to 5.
to.
Well, 10
and
to
I
6.
think as the directors or people that are heavily involved in stuff, you kind of go, well, I want to because it's my kind of baby. Like, I want it to succeed. But no, a lot, basically. I try
more than the average.
Yeah, I try and keep my office hours in like a 9 to 5 where possible, just because that's where a lot of our clients and other agents are based. That's just a very like industry thing. So any extras will be kind of in the evenings. But like you say, I'm normally in the office like 9 to 6, sometimes later, and then gigging as well, because that's why I'm also in this, because I enjoy performing too. So many hours is the answer to that question.
Lots and lots. But yeah, I think, to be honest, you can work any amount of time. Like, I own the company, so I could just work one day and I could just swan in and be like, oh, hey, what's going on? But I love being involved. I love working. I'm passionate about it. So yes, I do work long hours, but I choose to. Mm-hmm. So, and I, would love to train up some new people to take that off, but then I also enjoy doing it. So
yeah, I'm not great at delegating sometimes. I like to be involved.
I know. I also want to make costumes. That's like my main thing. I'm like, I really want to make that costume, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
I should employ someone to do that, but I really want to do it myself, so I end up doing it in the evening.
Yeah. But yeah, many hours. I think anyone who's passionate about what they do put in the hours. Some of it I don't even realise is work, because it's like things like social mediaing or your stuff technically counts as work, but you don't really think about it.
Yeah, I hate the whole you have to prove you're busy, even though I'd say 50% of my work I either don't get good photos from, so I choose not to put them on my Instagram, or we've signed an NDA, or the performer forgot to take a picture and the client just ignores my feedback saying, did you have a professional photographer?
Which we know you did.
So, I'd say as well, like with social media, even though that's classed as work, it's hard, and some people will look on your social media and think you've done one event, but actually you did 6. But do you really want to do a post saying we had 6 events? Because nobody really cares.
No one wants to be that guy.
Yeah, so that's work, but also not. That was a good answer.
Basically,
my brain stopped working because I work all these hours.
Let's back up, so there was some at the top. Also, hi Ailey, you've just checked in.
Hello.
Right, I'm going to go back to the top and say... Oh,
Beth says hi too.
Hey,
Beth, love you. Gonna see
Lauren
you soon.
Olivia. Hi. Right.
Jennifer Clark.
Oh,
hello.
Okay. So another one actually from Aaron was, do agencies supply certain apparatus that are difficult to transport? It depends like how integral it is to your act, because if it's something very specific, we would kind of expect you to have it yourself.
Yeah, I suppose depending on what it is, if you ask in advance, then we can tell you whether we have it or not.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got like an aerial chandelier, we'd expect you to
bring it.
Have that. I don't know, that one's a bit difficult. I think, if it's something really specific, we would expect you to have it. And if it's our own apparatus, we probably have our own performers or people that would be on it or use it.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think if it's like, we're employing you as a stilt walker, even though I think it's pretty obvious, I write on your confirmation, please bring your stilts, because I know that some agents do provide stilts, so I know they're a bit annoying to bring. However, like for that particular piece of apparatus, I know that they're sort of moulded to your legs and they're measured, etc. So, however, to sort of avoid any like confusion, I always do write it on the confirmation. However, if it's a particular thing you need, like a PA system, you just need to tell us, so we can tell you whether we have it or not.
Let's have a look.
Any other questions? Helena.
I think this was in response to the bit earlier about the client pinching. We're giving feedback, discuss that one. No. Maria's asked, are there any networking events you'd advise would be advantageous for a performer to attend to meet agents and clients? There are a few kind of things. I mean, me and Helena, so we have a company called Helter Skelter Arts, and we went to a few kind of like local business It's kind of like get-togethers. There were all sorts of like people there. It wasn't overly.
You carry on.
It wasn't 100% beneficial for us. I think the entertainment industry kind of is a bit standalone from other ones. We operate very differently. Oh no, we've got a wobble on.
The camera's drunk. Right.
Sorry. We can sort this technology.
Ignore the wobbly camera. Listen to Tor's thoughts. Oh God.
But yeah, there's not really much out. I think like, you've put in one of the comments below about like performing your business. Like there isn't really anything else like that out there. So Josh, you've made an amazing thing here because it's a platform where we can all kind of talk about all this stuff that we don't really talk about. It's going to make it better for everybody. But yeah, there's a few like performer expos and stuff that you can go to. I know that there's like some big some corporate. No. Can we turn it? Oh, if we turn it upside down, we'll be upside down. I was thinking that would be a solution.
Well, I could hold it, but my arm would be in shock for the
whole
thing.
Well, just have your lovely arm.
I'm sorry.
The phone is charging.
That again refers to the amount of hours we work.
Okay, that's good. Don't breathe or talk very loud. None of you comment anything. No, don't ignore that. But yeah, I know there's a few like expos that people go to, a bit like kind of wedding fairs, but for business entertainment stuff. But you can
I've been to a few. I'd say almost every single one that I've gone to hasn't resulted in like a direct booking. However, sometimes it's just good to get your name out there, or then see what other people are doing, or hear what other people are saying, and good to network. And sometimes you can get a direct booking. But yeah, it's always good if you've got a spare night or a spare day. We can probably those coming to our talks, we can tell you this is a good incentive to come. Share the information on that. But yeah, everything that I've ever been to, there's a lot for event companies, a lot. And most of them are free to come to, or if you're a reputable performer or agent, you can get invited to for free. And you don't even need to pay to have a stand. You could just go in, I've done it many times, with your business cards, and just make sure you have something that's interesting to say, and something that's interesting to show, like a video ready on your phone. Make sure your screensaver's a nice performing picture, all things like that. Because again, you can then market yourselves to event companies that are there, as well as people walking around. I'd say wedding fairs are one of the most difficult, I'd say, because brides basically just shop around to try and get the cheapest price.
And wedding entertainment is always the last thing. Like on the books. So.
If we've got budget, and then normally it's removed. I'd say with me, I do like some high-end weddings, but with the regular weddings, I've done a lot of like Indian weddings where they've wanted like large things like my heart prop or an LED robot. Who wouldn't want that at their wedding?
Standard.
Just the average wedding entertainment. But yeah, again, there's lots, so we'll reveal all in our talks.
Right,
I can't remember them off the top of my head.
So, John Godbolt, one thing I've been wondering about. I have a company that makes some very unique acts that are on a few good agents. And we get a fair amount of agency work. We chase a few direct bookings from time to time, but much prefer working through agencies because you guys reduce our workload greatly. Want to make a website for my acts to refer my few direct clients to. Do you see that being a problem for my agencies who list and book my acts regularly? No. And it's also nice to see the appreciation for agents. That is basically what we're here for, is to try and make your lives easier.
Try and give you money. I'm trying to give you money.
Yeah, try and give you money, and with as much details as possible. So yeah, you're right. It's kind of a good thing, but no, I don't think that.
I don't think so. I would just obviously, if you're worried about that and you have work from a lot of agents, maybe link the agents, because also make sure website rank higher if you've got external links.
SEO.
Or ask all of your agents to give you a testimonial, and then you can name them. But yeah, I don't think it would damage it at all, because I'd say at least 80% of my website is in-house stuff, and I only do put on my website high quality acts from other people, and most of them all have websites, so it wouldn't personally put me off if you made a website, but it's lovely for you to ask.
Yeah, there is another one from Lucas. Do you want to read the long one out, or do you want me to read the long one out?
You're good.
Okay, so Lucas, As a busy performer, I can't keep up with the amount of inquiries at the minute. Can't keep up with the work, would love to say yes to more, would love to book out other performers, but I'm nervous of putting someone else in my place representing my brand and charging quite a high rate for kid stuff. So conscious it gets very expensive. I want to pay that performer a decent fee and still make any amount of money that's worth the admin. I 100% feel you, mate. It's a really difficult predicament to be in. And again, as the same thing, because I am a performer at the same time as also running the agency stuff, I totally get that you can just run out of everything. And that is the thing, we've experienced it ourselves. We've put people out in our act thinking that they will do a really good job of it and then get kind of subpar feedback from it, kind of thinking, oh, you didn't do a lot of things that I think are standard things when you turn up at an event. So if you find someone that you're really connecting with, who you think will do a good job of your act, I think do find the time to kind of brief them properly, because I kind of find people that I really like kind of vibe off, or kind of go, oh, you're really similar to me, and you kind of go, you would do a good job of these things. Oh, hey. But maybe get them along to come and shadow your shows so that they can watch you in action. And it depends, like if you have a certain amount that's scripted, you could probably just get them to learn that, and then they'll have the same kind of lines. I think it still does depend a little bit, because certain people can get away with saying stuff that other people kind of can't sometimes, depending on their personality and their charisma and their kind of stagemanness, or stage womanness, which is not a word either. Stage personness.
Stage persona.
Yeah, personality. That's a real word. But yeah, I would say maybe get them in to shadow you. Because I think then they can really see kind of what you're about and what your act's about, and then, like I say, you can basically almost like franchise your act out there. And I would say you still need to put commission on, obviously, to get it, but I don't know, like kids entertainment stuff is quite a different world, isn't it? And it's like that thing where a lot of people do lots of it and they have like a few in a day rather than one, and that it's cheaper, but it adds up in the end. So
yeah, I think if you're going to franchise your act, just make sure, like Tor said, you got the right person, the right price to make it worth your while.
Oh, bye again,
bye, see ya. And yeah, just make sure that you choose someone that will represent you well.
And I would say maybe have something in place where they're not allowed to perform your act outside of your booking. I mean, it's a thing of if you have like the double amount of props and they have to come and collect it from you, at least you know they can't perform it. But ideally, it's someone who you have a good enough reputation with, that you don't have to worry about them selling it to someone else.
I was going to say a really good point, and then I basically repeated your point because the camera fell, and I can't remember what it was.
Hopefully it comes back to your head.
Oh, I think I remembered it.
Okay, go.
But I'm worried about the camera. For example, if you have a prop, so say a freestanding aerial prop, and this is the act you want to franchise, if on every gig, instead of you delivering it yourself, you train up like a prop person who can install it for you, then they're sort of meeting all of the sort of safety regulations, doing the install and outstall, and then you can, like, so for example, I have a heart prop, and again we have like lots of different performers who go on it. So if it's not like literally I am a juggler and I'm trying to franchise myself as a juggler juggling, and it's more like I have this really cool prop, then or really cool costume, and it doesn't really matter what you do in it, then I think if you have someone separate who's like really cheap, who maybe is not even a performer, is just a friend who's looking for some extra work, and then they can learn it all, then half of your stress is taken away, and you have someone that already lives near you maybe that can take it to the event and take it back. That was my point.
That's a good point. I'm glad you remembered.
Before the camera
fell. So a few more shout outs. We have, finally, Mark Lavelle has joined. We covered your questions earlier, love. They were good. But hello.
You can rewatch for your answers.
Thank God for this, you guys will be happy to know. James Guyver is available for Fire and Stilts. Thank God, because I was worrying about that one. And Josh Morris, is that a dig at me, Tor, about getting away with things others can't? 100% yes, you are that person who can say whatever you want and get away with it. So yeah, that was 100% of you. Oi Brazil has also mentioned that they prefer to work for agents too, because it makes everything so much easier.
Easier when performers answer our questions. James, straight away. I was like telling James off the other week, but no, we love James, he's working for us this weekend. But yeah, if I say, hi, what's your fee, how many sets, how long are your sets, please include any expenses, if you could just like reply saying, hi Gemma, £300, 3 times 15-minute sets, travel £30, am free, so's my partner. Ace.
Yeah, answer questions.
Yeah, promptly and accurately.
Yeah, because we don't have time to email multiple emails to chase you for that stuff. So if the first email does say, are you available? What's your fee plus travel? What can you provide? Please do answer with all of those bits of information. Then we can quote for you faster. Because that's the thing, like, time really is of the essence, like I said earlier. So,
At the table.
do you reckon it's got enough charge to, like, sit
I
for
think
a
so,
bit?
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
But yeah, so we had a few other questions. Ailey has got quite an interesting one, actually. What do you think about charging agents a finder's fee, for example, when recommending other performers or sourcing someone for them? I've had some offer it, but I previously declined because I don't really put that much work into sourcing a performer. But I don't know, it's hard to figure out what's moral for all parties involved. What do you think?
I would say if I approach Ailey for a job, for example, and Ailey's not free, and she said she wanted to be helpful and say, oh, I have this other friend, but you're worried about telling me about this other friend because you think, oh, well, she might just get all my bookings, then I would honour you and say, if you're not available, then I will ask the person you've recommended. So it's not really a finder's fee, it's more a priority list.
Yeah, we've got a
works.
similar thing with a few people where it's like we'll always go to them first, and I mean, sometimes if you can get a quote from them quickly or whatever, you could just pitch them with a fee and you'd make something from it. But like I say, it kind of depends how much work you want to put into it, because then it's suddenly going down the kind of agency route without realising it sometimes.
Yeah, you'll be a middleman and...
Yeah, and then you'll have to be doing all their middleman stuff, so like sending them the gig information and sorting out the invoice and taking money that you might not necessarily want to be taking. So I think sometimes recommending someone... This is when it comes down to the relationship you've got with your agent. Like, if a performer said they weren't free, they recommended someone, I would never go to that person as my first port of call again, because that's not the kind of person that I am.
Morals, yeah.
All the agents are like, I'm super all about morals, and I don't like upsetting anybody. So it's very much about like keeping people happy.
Yeah, but if you wanted to have that as a revenue stream, for example, and you were like, oh hey, I found this really cool guy, rather than saying each time you book him I need a finder's fee, because technically unless you're their only agent you can't really do that, you could say you know, it's perfect for your booking, could you just chuck us 50 quid, and then 9 times out of 10, yeah, that's fine, and then you've got like no hassle and no emails. But you can't really just like email an agent loads of performers, because we probably already know them anyway, expecting a finder's fee. So it's a bit of a grey area, I think,
it is,
that one.
but I think the best recommendations for you, Ailey, there would be either you could ask to put something on, and most of the time it probably won't be a problem, or ideally you'd have a good relationship with the agent that you could say like, I'm not free, I'd recommend this person, but we would
or tell
not
the person
go to them.
to add the money on. Your friend, just say, can you add 50 quid on for me, or whatever, you know, finder's fee you like, because you know, at the end of the day, then, you know, you're getting something for recommending them.
Pippa,
we've
gone to night mode. Hang on, I'm going to go run around. There we go, that'll do.
This is what happens when I work the too many hours question and I realise it's time to go home because I haven't moved for
lights are gone, bye-bye.
Half an hour.
Pippa Jones says, I'm available for glow shows. Yeah, babe, only if you throw out the free ones at the end like we've discussed. James has said, I didn't know I was working for you this weekend. Joking!
Oh, good one. Well, you haven't got your confirmation yet because my client's not replying. But you're definitely working, so keep that one in your diary. But we have been speaking about it. But today's been very busy because, you know, I had to pretend that my office looks like this all the time. I'm not joking. Knowing the whole of Facebook's going to see it. But to be honest, I'm sure you're just focused on you in all of the different areas rather than the surroundings. But yes.
Let's just see
Can't remember what we were talking about.
Any other ones. Oh, interesting one. What's the biggest event you've ever worked on?
Okay. So when I get asked, I've been asked this question a lot. I always get it like, you know, when you're having like a client dinner, and then I don't know why I did that because it is a dinner. Not really client, not really dinner.
Those client dinners.
Yeah, the client dinners. So I'd say one of the first gigs I ever got was EDC Festival, which is, you know, world famous Electric Daisy Carnival Festival, where they wanted 50 performers, and they also personally requested me as a performer, which gave me massive anxiety. And this was 5 years ago, and in my brain I thought, I just have 2 event managers, it will be fine, one of us backstage, one of us front stage. But actually, in reality, there was no reception on site. It was a 10-15 minute walk from backstage to front stage and blah, 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 blah. Long story short, it was very complicated. So now, I think my biggest event, apart from that, because that was a long time ago, is actually a very exciting one that's happening in August, where I've got, I think it's 43 performers flying to Sardinia for a private party.
Beautiful place.
It's very nice. We did a site visit there. It's very difficult eating all the pasta.
Oh, I bet. I really feel for you, Gemma.
But yeah, that I think, even though it's like less people technically, is the biggest event I will do to date, because of everyone's a skilled artist really, or you know, doing something very unique. There's multiple costume changes and it's abroad. So in regards to like figures and number of people, I think that would be the biggest.
That one sounds like...
What about you, Tor?
I don't know. I mean, I've worked at a lot of very big events, but not necessarily like organised all
What do you think Flambe's biggest?
We had... It sounds so not rock and roll, but you were there because it's very exciting. It's a very cool one. So it's for, you hold on to your hats here, guys. It was for the Mortgage Advice Bureau.
Yeah,
I know. But
they weren't like mortgage advisors.
No, it was a super cool event. So we actually had Gemma's lovely husband official there, DJing with all the bells and whistles. We had his big LED screen there. We had all the lights. We had cages and cage dancers.
We could show you that at the end of the tour. We'll go upstairs and we'll show you.
So that was pretty epic. We had quite a big team on that one.
Someone found that funny.
Oh, thanks. I know.
We're funny. That was a very nice event.
That was a nice
event. I must say, because it brought together the Fantasy Tribe, Flambe Circus, Evolve, official music.
Yeah.
There was a lot of...
There's a lot going on.
There was a lot of really nice, events companies that we all work with, and we all came together collectively, rather than sort of like simulating each other's acts. We just all got brought together by Flambe.
Yeah.
And
this is the
lovely.
thing, like, you've got some super unique acts, and it's like, we wouldn't want to replicate them, and so it's like, well, your stuff's epic, so we'll just do a big, like...
Do a big epic one together.
It's all
for
about,
the mortgage advisors.
For the mortgage advisors, because they need that. Mark Lavelle has added on a little thing, which I think I agree with you. Back to the point earlier about like if you're recommending people, if you should put commission on or whatever. It's easier and I think more fair to ask a recommendation for commission. Keeps everyone on the same page. I think that might be, it's kind of the smoothest thing if you ask the person you're recommending to pop a bit on for you.
Yeah, just be clear. So don't try and hide it. Nobody cares. Like, I don't care if you put a commission on. Like, it does not bother me, because at the end of the day, as long as I can, it's not a deal breaker. If my client's saying, oh, well, can we reduce it? If we can reduce it by £50, then we can confirm the gig. And then maybe you might want to look at what you're putting on. But 9 times out of 10, just be honest with me, be honest with the person you're recommending, and it's totally acceptable and it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
As long as, everyone knows and it's not like a big secret.
We've got another one from Alessandra, which is probably a good one for you to look at. What is, in your opinion, the most effective marketing tool for dance acts? So how to best get seen and kind of get yourself out there?
I've got a great answer for this. So if you're just regular dance act, make a themed dance show and do videos and photographs, because for me, anyone that comes to me with an act that again is like a high quality photographs taken landscape, at least 3 or 4, same with the video, film landscape of your act, in the particular costume. Just go on any of our websites and have a look at the acts that we currently list, especially in that section that you're looking to apply for, and just be like, oh look, they don't have any 90s dance acts or 80s dance acts, or just have a little look, because one, there might be an era of time that's really, really popular. I say like Gatsby is probably the most popular, but then I also do have already almost every dance agency I work for have a routine. So I would say, something a little bit more unique, but make an act, because I will remember you and everyone else in my office will remember you because you're on the website. And quite often we have people coming on the website for a chat, or people like inquiring through the website, and they add acts to their favourite basket, and that could be one of your acts. So I'd say make an act for me.
In fact, this one kind of carries on. So from Oi Brazil, what would be the best and ideal portfolio for a new act? So it's basically just kind of all of those things, really. Like, we love nice, clean photos, ideally not with any like photography branding and stuff in like that.
Yeah,
and like a nice mix of like studio and event photos. And I think that shows that your act has not just been taken a photo of in a studio, that you've actually been out there and performed it. So I think a mix of that is quite nice. The studio ones are often a nice kind of cleaner way of getting like a really nice shot of a costume.
Yeah.
But like actual event stuff while it's out there is brilliant.
But then also I found with a particular act that I have on my website, they put a lovely filter on all of their professionally shot pictures, where it kind of looks like it's like faded and black and white, and it makes the costume look really vintage. And then I had feedback when it was on a job, oh well, the costumes are really bright, and in the pictures they looked really dull. So I'd always say make your promotional material exactly how it appears in real life, so that basically clients are then happy with what they get. And if you do put a filter because you want a particular, I don't know, like ambience or something, just do it on like a couple of pictures and say, but this is actually what the costume looks like, because in the end you're going to get positive feedback because you've shown us what your act looks like. But yeah, so a mixture.
So I think we are currently out of some of the questions that were sent over.
Send us more questions.
Send us more.
Send us more. Send us more.
Well, like, is there anything else that we kind of want to get across as a thing? I think for us, like for the Make Performing Your Business, like actual days that's being hosted in October, like we could probably talk about our things we're going to be talking about there. So ours are kind of a little bit linked. So mine is kind of going to be about like building yourself as a brand, as a performer, because it's so linked at like these days, and obviously like with social media, how you represent yourself on there really heavily influences. We all see it. So the stuff you post about, you kind of feel like it might not affect stuff, but it kind of does. So it's kind of thinking about how you portray yourself and how you want to be seen, and kind of focusing on that kind of stuff. I think you're kind of looking at what agents looking for in people, and we're kind of both kind of focusing on that, because we want to have a relationship that works both ways round. So we want to make sure that you guys are happy and get everything that you need from us, but likewise we need you to be providing the things that we need too. So I think it's going to be a helpful thing to talk about, and hopefully everyone kind of gets everything back from it.
Because I think you know, we're all human. Like some people have me on their Instagram or Facebook as me personally, and like surprise, like you know, I have fun and I do things. So you know, we're not saying like hide half your life because you need to be like professional online. But if you are someone who puts like their whole life on social media, and you know, oh God, I'm late for this gig and blah, 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 just remember that like people see it. Yeah. So if you're worried about that, just create a performing profile which you can have everybody on, and then have a separate one. But yeah, like I think both of our talks will overlap. One of my talks is about creating promotional material to sell yourself as an act. So I'll be giving examples, showing, you know, some people are like, this act always gets booked, but the costume's not really great. And I'm like, well, it's because they've had a photo shoot and they've put like time and effort, and that's why it gets booked. Whereas you might have a better costume, but you've done nothing to promote it. And then my other talk is a kind of like what we covered earlier about making yourself stand out, and how to apply to agents and how to actually get recognised and added to their books. So we'll talk more in length when we do our
we've had some talks. More things pop up. Marky J, mwah, hello, nice to see you. Oh, Ailey's replied back. True, that makes sense. Don't like being the middleman because it's so much more effort. So yeah, it feels like a nice solution is needed. I think hopefully that we've given you some helpful answers with that one. Marky J, hello to you. Pippa, how do you both look so fabulous with such hectic schedules?
Well, I don't know how actually, because suddenly, as you could probably tell, we were like, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, we have to go live. So
we had time, and the time disappeared.
Yeah, there's not really been much preparation, but thank you, appreciate it.
Maria, what do you see as the future of circus shows? Ooh, interesting. Hanging by your jaw is what we've discovered so far today. I think more technology is probably going to end up being involved in stuff. So I think more of the kind of projection mapping stuff maybe, or just like lights and stuff is really popular. Yeah,
I've had so many clients come to me saying like, can we have a drone show, or can we have like an interactive, like where the costume interacts, so someone like hits a button and the costume lights up, and you know, all of these. And obviously to the average performer that's like, oh my God, like that's really scary. However, it just depends, because I also find that year upon year there's different themes. So for example, this year
Greatest Showman everywhere.
Well, I've had like mirror
actually mirror and futuristic
Mirror
stuff
and
has been quite popular.
futuristic. Well, I've always had LED's always been like a thing of mine. Like, even if I have a costume and I'm like, look how amazing it is, just on its own, they're like, can you make it light up though?
Yeah, apparently that's the thing.
Apparently, yeah.
But I think it's an interesting one, Maria, actually, because obviously, like, The Greatest Showman has been so hugely popular for the last 2 years, and that's really influenced events wanting to do, like, the proper traditional, like, big top circus shows. It'll be interesting to kind of know what happens after that kind of phase has gone, because it's gone back to quite a lot of the, like, traditional freak show stuff, or kind of that kind of vibe. I think it is kind of pulling away from that a bit now, like you're saying, like with more mirror stuff and LED
Moulin
stuff.
Rouge,
But
that was a huge film.
I know,
obviously
it's still going.
It's still going. I know it's
theme.
based on the Moulin Rouge. But I think when that Baz Luhrmann film came out, same with like Gatsby, you know, they do sort of all come around. But I sort of always think it's the similar kind of themes, because even when people try and push the boundaries, and you know, my favorite email that I receive weekly is, you know, hi Gemma, I'd like something new that's never been seen before, but can you show me photos and videos of it?
Oh yes, of course.
Yes, let's get this app that's never been seen before seen. But I would just say that, like, they always want something unique. So if you already do a particular thing, just add something to it. So if you have a mermaid costume, be like a fire-eating mermaid that's in a ball, or you know, just sort of add something to it.
Yeah.
But
no, I think that's a really interesting question. I think, like, circus is constantly developing and growing, so I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of where it ends up.
I saw a difference in the Cirque du Soleil show. So that was with Cirque du Soleil. I don't know if any of you have seen it, or you know, I'm sure you've seen something online if you haven't been there. There's always so many amazing acrobats that you just think, oh my god, like something's going to happen. It's so crazy. And now, because of all the accidents, the latest show has been a lot more about the story and acting, rather than just focus on these crazy dangerous stunts. So you know, I think that things always come around, and you never really know what the future's going to be. But if we were to predict it, I just predict it based on trends and things that are coming out, you know, like big films.
Yeah, keep an eye on them, because that's a really good clue for what might be coming out. Right, James Guyver, do you feel making fake job posts might affect a performer's career?
No, I don't think it will affect your career. It might affect how people see if you're extremely serious, but no, I wouldn't say.
Does he mean like
he creates those, you know, we need a fire performer in a petrol station post? Yeah, he's referring to himself in the third person, not you, James. Obviously,
so
because we know it's a joke, I think we assume everybody else knows it's a joke, and I know you do them to see who comments to say, yeah, I'm free to be a fire performer in a petrol station.
Or a library.
Like angle grinder in a library.
That was it.
Yeah. Although Beth did a job for me, which originally I thought was a joke, that was actually a serious job, which was a burlesque martini glass show in an OAP home. I'm not even joking. And the year before they had pole dancers. I was like, what is this?
That's a beautiful combination of things. Right, let's have another scroll down. Oh, hey,
hi,
Rachel! Rachel Ray Boffin is on. Love that lady.
Hello, fellow agent.
Marky J, hello. Is there a common mistake jugglers make with their promo and interaction with agents? Oh, hang on. How
recent it is.
Oh, I think I might have accidentally just angered that one. I'm not angry at your comment.
Angry.
I just pressed the wrong thing. I think we sometimes struggle to something. What?
They said, like, interaction with agents, I think sometimes we struggle to...
And then there's something, but the emojis cover up the actual line that I want to see.
Oh, could you write your last sentence again, and then we can see it? Basically, when it says on ours, see more, and you click in, it's just a bunch of emojis, which is really helpful. See if you can see it on your phone.
I'm trying.
But yeah, I'd say, I don't know if this is just a juggling trend, but they're just really old videos. So
yeah,
like,
I think up-to-date stuff
you can just tell how old it is. So you know, if it's more than 2 years old, just film another one, or just, you know, just invest in yourself, because I understand employing a videographer and doing a full-on shoot is expensive, but getting your friend to come along with your phone, which is probably very high quality, and have it on a tripod and just filming just the stage would be brilliant.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can get the last line of your comment up, Marky, because I want to know what you said.
But yeah, just in promotional material in general, you know, the more you have, and the more up to date and current it is, and also.
Oh, here we go. Is there a common mistake jugglers make with their promo and interaction with agents? I think we sometimes struggle to understand how we are viewed by non-jugglers. Okay, so I think if you are putting a show together that has a particular vibe to it, really make sure that comes across in your promo. So for me, I love acts that have like tons of character or tons of theming. I think with juggling, especially for like muggles out there, myself included there actually. We've got beautiful sunshine
the
there.
the golden hour
Golden
happening.
glow. Yeah, I especially find like juggling the tricks that, or the ones I remember, are the ones that either made me laugh or that are particularly beautifully choreographed or something like that. I think with ones that are like really skill based, if you're not a juggler, you often don't appreciate some of those tricks.
Yeah, like Boy as well.
Yeah, so if you're going for like a themed show, just really make sure that's in your media.
And is in like the first 30 seconds of your video.
Yes.
Because if we're being honest, if it's not in the first 30 seconds and it's not obvious, like, unless we really, really need to skip through the whole video, just make it like clear. Put your best moves at the front, in the costume, no walking around, fanning around, just straight to the skill. It will benefit you a lot. And also for me, if you send an unbranded video, I'm going to always download it and then upload it onto my website. But if it doesn't say Marky J, Marky J, Marky J, then I have to cut half of the video out, and then it consumes my time.
Yeah.
And each time you do that, just make 2 versions. Make a version for YouTube that has Marky J on, and then a version for agents.
That is actually the worst thing. I'm going to put that out there now. Sending us links to your Vimeo or YouTube is the least helpful thing, because we cannot pass that on to anybody. So the best thing is either having it in like Dropbox or Drive is the ones that I normally prefer, because I can then just send the link directly on to clients if I need to. But having something we can download things that doesn't have any of your kind of details
unbranded
on.
channel.
Or an unbranded
I have
channel.
an unbranded channel, so you can send the direct link.
Yeah.
All the videos are unlisted, and they're all not linked to Evolve Entertainment.
Yeah.
So
it's not branded for us. It still doesn't help if your link goes to
your name.
Like if Gemma was sending me a thing, if your link links you to Vimeo that says Gemma Dance Fire Performer or whatever, you kind of go, oh well, then they can still yeah. So that's a helpful thing. But yeah, hopefully that helps, Marky. Jamie Double, hello, lovely. We have quite a fun one from Mr. Godbolt here.
Oh yes. What's the funnest thing a performer has sent you? Oh no.
Oh no, the funniest thing a performer sent you as an introduction or promo.
Oh no, I debated sharing this because I cried with laughter. So
I'm excited for this story already.
No, there's been many, and you might not find it as funny unless you see the video, so maybe I should just in this group share the video because it is quite funny. It's not embarrassing to the performer at all in the slightest. It's not like that. I had a dancer send me a video, particularly like, I'm in a cruise ship dancer, I'm this person on the left, I'm this person on the right. But one of the first clips was her doing the can-can, and her leg was up like this for so long, I thought the video would pause. And then she fell, literally smack onto the floor, and I thought, oh my God, she's fallen over and she's put it in her promo video. But no, that was her move. But it was half of the video. And I sent it to Fish, just saying, this can-can dancer looked like she dropped dead, like mid-show. And I just, quick.
Move around. There we go. Okay.
Sorry, it's my office. And anyway, then, I don't know if anyone out there's heard of Baby Sniper, but it's like a YouTube thing that went viral of a little kid who's got an actual gun in America and firing it, but it's not really I think maybe it is firing. But anyway, he then edited this dancer's show reel, resent it back to me, looking like the baby sniper was lining up the rifle, and then she was like this, and then lined it up again, and went pow, and then she just like fell straight onto the floor. I don't think actually anyone would find that funny unless you see the video after telling that story.
Oh, well, yeah. Funniest things we've been sent, I think, we've been sent, I was talking about this one earlier today actually, a video that was a promo video that was like 6 minutes long.
That's not the funnest thing.
No, it's not the funnest thing.
I've had someone dancing like in selfie, like putting their phone on and just waving their arms around, and their cat and their gran walks in. That was quite funny because I thought, why have you sent this to me? Because it wasn't even in response to like, oh, I need this particular costume. They're like, I'll quickly film myself in my bedroom. Like that was their promo they were sending out. So that was quite funny. I've also had someone dress as a police stripper and dancing with clapping the whole video. That was quite funny. But
you've been sent way more fun things than we have.
yeah, it's all I can think of off the top of my head.
But yeah, Marky J has added, he sometimes struggles to understand how like jugglers can come across to non-jugglers. No, I think like, I mean, your act, what I would think of you, let's do a little bit of like performer PR. I see you as being really funny, kind of compare, very confident with all like just front facing, being in front of an audience. I know that you've got really, really good kind of kids shows, and you're very talented with juggling and Diablo. So I would say for you, the things you want to get across to people is like that confidence. So I know you've got some really lovely promo shots that we've got where you're just looking really fun and engaging and charismatic, and it's nice bright colours. I think you kind of look at your stuff and go, he is like a top quality kids entertainer. I know you do like a lot of like really, really good kid shows, like a few of them in a day. So I kind of feel like a lot of your media is probably on point for the kind of
and,
like getting
and
that across.
I like Marky not because of his media, but because you send me a check-in photo and it's normally a funny one. So it makes me laugh. So when you're at the event, take a photo, and then you always send me a nice professional picture of you in your costume at said event, and then normally give me feedback of, normally you say how awful the change room is, and then you film like a mansion. But you know, it's nice
that sounds
to
about right.
hear all of that, and also in like a comedic way. I know obviously not everyone's a comedian, but you sort of over communicate, you always get back to me quickly, and everything's always really clear. So thumbs up there.
I would say like with your media, you're pretty good, to be fair, and I think it's just about finding, again, like your market and what you want to come across as showing. So if you're going for more being like a kind of younger audience or kind of kids juggler, or someone that's going to be like a kind of compere figure, having stuff where you come across as charismatic and colourful and bright and friendly and approachable, that's what you're going for. But if you're wanting to be like a mysterious kind of really serious stage juggler or something, then we want to have like atmospheric photos, we want the smoke machines, we want the lights, like that kind of thing.
Also be obvious. If you're a compere, I know it sounds stupid, but hold a microphone. It sounds so stupid, but clients like have zero imagination. Like you send them a photo of a costume of you in your juggling costume holding like clubs, and they're like, oh, but can they juggle hoops? Yeah, they can. So like, you know, if you've got multiple bits of equipment and you're on a photo shoot, just quickly hold all those different bits of equipment, because then we can make a nice montage of you, say, you know, first set this, second set this, just to make it like so obvious to our client.
One from Jamie Double, top tips for anyone looking to get booked. This is probably
that's quite a broad question.
It is a broad question, but I mean, I think a lot of you have kind of like got onto this since we've started. We did do a bit of this at the beginning, but a lot of you joined kind of since then. So in regard to agent stuff, kind of the stuff we talked about earlier was reliability. So we need top tip number one, be reliable. So reply to stuff. We need to know that you're going to turn up on time and do a cracking job every time. Looking to get booked, put in the extra mile. We really, really appreciate performers. Even if you just do like one thing of going like above and beyond, we will remember that forever. So I think doing that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, let's not. Oh my god, the phone dies right now. We're just plugging it in because that would be awful.
And then also trustworthiness. We touched on this earlier. Sorry, we're plugging the phone in. But I'd say there's like the 3 top tips. But it is such a broad question, and I think it's quite obvious. But also, you'd be surprised how many performers don't do those things.
I mean, obviously, and again, we mentioned it earlier about like skill level is obviously very important. So if you're pitching yourself for certain level events, just make sure you've got the skill level there for that, because obviously entertainment industry is huge, and you don't often need to be like the most amazing of something for certain scenarios.
You don't want to like oversell yourself and compare yourself or price yourself in a certain bracket and then get bad feedback. Because for me, for example, if a client says to me, hi, I'd like an aerial hoop artist, I have an email group which I then send out the inquiry to, and then sometimes it's based on who gets back to me the quickest with the most relevant information, and other times sometimes I'll say 3 different options and there'll be different price points. So, you know, for example, if you're a new aerialist, don't put yourself out at 500 quid because you're not going to get booked, because we know you're a new aerialist. So you know, you might want to say, this is my introductory rate as I've just started learning, and then as soon as you've done a few gigs and you've got great pictures, you can put your fee up a little bit. But it's all about like pitching yourself at the right fee, knowing, you know, exactly what event you're going for. You might have a different price for corporate or club, because clubs are regular and easy. You can normally just turn up, quickly do your stuff and go home, whereas corporate, you know, you're probably going to want a rehearsal in the afternoon and you're going to be there for a bit longer, and also they have a bit more budget. So don't be afraid to ask us, or give us a price point that you'd ideally like, and then say, however, if it's a deal breaker, I could go down £100, you know, to match up with other performers, because I get that a lot. Like, what Gemma, you tell me the fee. And I'm like, well, I can't tell you the fee for your act.
No.
However, I do understand that question, as in, like, basically, what's everyone else quoted?
So
but you should value yourself and know, again, like with consistent pricing, which is something that's been on the group. Even if you have consistent pricing for particular sets. So even if an agent's inquired with you saying, how much for your aerial hoop? And you're like, well, it depends where it is and how many sets. So you can reply quickly. I would just say, based on one show or 2 ambient 15-minute sets within London, I would charge £350 plus £30 travel. However, if it's outside London or these sets differ, you know, within a 5-hour event period, then my price will differ, because then if they don't know the answers to your questions, like exactly where it is or how many sets, then at least they have something to go on. So
But hopefully that helps, Jamie. But I think, if you kind of go the extra mile for your agents, they will go the extra mile for you, because like you're the most important thing in our business. It's what makes everything kind of come together, and we want you guys to be happy at the end of the day. So I think
and it swings and roundabouts. If you're helpful to us, then you're going to get more work. So it benefits, you're basically doing yourself a favour, because it benefits you. For example, for me, the biggest thing I struggle with is costume logistics. So if you're a dancer and you're not getting any work, you could do what Tor said and pop in and say hi into the office and say, well, if you've got any jobs in the next couple of weeks, I could go to those jobs and take these costumes and bring them back for you. And I'd be like, oh, amazing. And then you're at the top of my mind. You've been on a job. As long as I get great feedback and great photos and you've done everything on your confirmation, I'd be like, well, now she has this costume. So now I'm going to have to put her on another job to get that costume back. So then you get 2 jobs. And it's just about using your initiative.
Yeah, very much so. So those things, Jamie.
Those things.
Let's have a look. We've got...
Scroll it.
Oh, yeah, no, let's just... If I accidentally, angry all of your comments, I'm not doing it intentionally.
Oh, I meant with the phone falling.
Oh, that too. So, one from Alessandra again. I'm a Brazilian professional dancer, do lots of original and modern Brazilian styles. As I'm still finding my way through marketing and images, I do have an act, photos and videos. One way to find... she's basically finding out best way to stand out. So, I think we've talked about quite a few of those bits earlier.
I'd say high quality. Say what you see is in like whatever the photograph is, make sure you can clearly see the costume, clearly see your skill, and then to have 3 or 4 pictures. Personally, I like it from either the same event or the same shoot in the same costume. Because if you're trying to pitch an act and you're like, here's me at 10 different events with 10 different costumes, it's a bit confusing, like to the client looking on my website. So I would just say consistency and accuracy.
So we have a few more questions that have popped up. So one from the wonderful Steph Hale Allen.
Oh, hi Steph.
Hello, lovely. Approaching a new agent and contacting them for the first time. So you have lots of skills that you want to let them know that you have, but only have promo for some of the act skills. Is it worth mentioning the skills you don't have promo for yet? Or should you just focus on promoting the skills you have videos, photos of? Always mention them. Always. The amount of times I didn't know that you do contact juggling, for example, until recently. When
I didn't know that.
Right, there we go. And that's a really sought after thing. So even if you don't have media of it, as long as I know that you do it, and obviously you're the kind of person that I would trust to tell me that they can do a thing, and I wouldn't think that you're just saying that.
Prove it.
Yeah,
prove it with a video.
But I wouldn't need to have high quality media of that. That's great. So I think always mention everything that you do, and even if you haven't got media for it, it's just helpful for us to know. We have a performer spreadsheet at Flambe that we try and keep filled in with everybody's skills, so we kind of would know this person unicycles and they also have a giraffe unicycle. We make notes specialist things, but multi-skill is a huge thing. So knowing everything that someone does is super duper helpful. So yeah, definitely mention it.
That's why James and Els have the job with me this weekend, because obviously there's loads of jugglers, but Eleanor does unicycle and James does Stilts and Fire.
Yeah.
And they wanted a meet and greet as well as a mix and mingle.
Yeah.
So, you know,
knowing what combination of skills you can put forwards is really helpful.
Super helpful.
So yeah, definitely mention it, Steph.
But Mark, you the best ones with the promo.
Yes, yeah. Mark J, thank you. That's quite all right. Oh, I've been sent a Dropbox link. Loz, you're wonderful.
How's the bubba?
I know, I haven't seen the new one.
The new one.
Tabitha Kell says she found the Can video story funny.
Oh, good. Someone did. I will share it in the group because it is really funny, but I was worried about putting it out there on the internet because I couldn't remember who said dancer was, which is another example of how many videos we get sent. And I can remember that from years ago, but I can't remember who it is.
There you go.
Because it was a cruise ship video.
Marky's got an additional question of what length should videos be.
Short.
I would say a minute max.
1 minute. 1 minute.
A minute is good for you as well, because it also means you can post it on Instagram and get the full video length, because Instagram only lets you do minute-long videos without it then splitting it up into like
Millions.
scrolly bits, which can't bother with.
Maybe unless you're a musician, because for me, sometimes, like say it's like a wedding and they want a saxophonist, they might want to listen to a little bit longer. So yeah, like a minute ideally. But obviously you can have longer, but just make sure all the good stuff is right at the beginning.
Yep. And just a few more questions from Marky about that, actually.
This is super useful.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
Pick our brains more.
Yeah, is there a minimum res for like video or for photo sizes? I mean, to be fair, most of the times for our photos, we're going to be emailing out to people like low res because we send so many photos in emails. We can't have them as like 5 megabytes because we wouldn't be able to send anything. So it's kind of good to have like high res and low res versions of everything.
Yeah, in your little Dropbox folder, which all of you will create after this conversation, have just the obvious high resolution, low resolution.
Because the high res ones would be ones that would go on any like marketing material. Some people do kind of go, oh, we want photos of the act so that we can include it in our marketing stuff. So then you send high res ones, or for like websites and stuff when you want to get a really clean like close up of things, having high res is good. But most of the time we're just emailing things to people, so actually kind of low res, as long as it's not a blurry photo.
Yeah,
like,
I'd say if we also, sorry, I totally interrupted you there.
No,
I'm sorry. People don't know what high res and low res is. So for me, high res would be like 2 megabytes and above.
Yeah.
And low res would be like 1 megabyte or below.
It's normally things around like the 100 to 500
kilobyte. Yeah,
kilobytes is
because
great.
People, when I say, could you please send me a high resolution image, people go, yeah, no worries, and then it's like 200 megabytes.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah. So I think that is a good, very, very good question. So yeah, just for email stuff, somewhere between like the 100 to 500, that is great. James Guyver, what are some things that would make you blacklist a performer? Again, they're kind of things that we touched on earlier.
Oh no. Rotate your phones. I'm so well. The phone didn't want to answer that either. I think it's pretty obvious. We touched on it before: stealing clients, cancelling on jobs, not turning up. I've had people get extremely drunk and rude. You know, just I suppose like things that you just wouldn't do. It's obvious. However, I think also we have terms and conditions, and if you break those terms and conditions, like if you're thinking, oh, what are all these things I'm not supposed to do, read your terms and conditions, and some of them might not be like a blacklist, like smoking in a costume or something, but it would be like, well, you didn't read those, and I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Things, you know, don't turn up in particular clothing, or don't say particular things. Like if you're subcontracted, they go up to the client and be like, hi, I'm from this such and such company, because we've probably written that at the top of your email, and then as an agent we get bad feedback saying your performer said you were from Evolve but you were subcontracted, and I'm like, I wrote it in massive red capital letters at the top of their email, I'm so terribly sorry. But if you can't read the first sentence of an email, it doesn't make me blacklist you, but yeah, that's
the thing. It's not like it's an automatic strike or anything. Like, it's normally little things that kind of build up sometimes. But I talk to people about stuff. So it's difficult emails to send sometimes, but I've had a few performers that I've always really enjoyed working with, and they've started like dropping the ball a little bit. So I've agonised over it.
Intended.
But I've sent them, I've sent them like a really, because I'm kind of friends with them by that point as well. So quite like a personal email, kind of saying like, you know, these things have happened recently, and it's reflecting badly on you and us, and I don't want this relationship to kind of go sour. And I normally get emails back that are like, you know what, thank you so much for bringing these things to my attention, because I didn't really. I'm in a kind of bad place and things are slipping, and I'm sorry, and I'll work on it. And then they've gone back to be my number one performer again.
Yeah, you kind of get one chance. It depends what it is.
Yeah, normally, and yeah, like you say, unless you just don't turn up for no reason whatsoever, or you kill someone, don't do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, then I probably wouldn't use you again.
No, but I think it's quite obvious, but at the same time, you know, we all make mistakes. However, like, it's just better to like just say, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again, and then not do it again. But if you're like, oh no, it's because of this reason and because of this reason, I told the client, I gave them my business card because of this reason, no matter what the reason is, like, you still did it. So
yeah,
I think that like just remembering that we're people, you're a person, and just treat everyone. Be nice again.
Be nice. I think that's our main thing from today, is just be nice.
And also, one of my company mottos is assume everybody's stupid, which is quite a harsh one. But when replying to someone, just literally state the obvious.
Yeah. If you give us more detail on your emails, that's only going to help, because we can feed that straight on to the client. So if you've got a show that can only be indoors, or that can only need certain things, kind of mention it to begin with, because it means that can instantly get fed over. Because I try and do it all the time. Like, for example, with fire, for example, you get freestyle fire and fire shows, and no matter what, every email that I send when it's the first one, I will say what the difference between the two is. Because the amount of time people book freestyle fire and actually want a show, but they aren't willing to pay the extra amount.
But they're confused of what it is.
Yeah, so I will always send an email going, freestyle fire, great for meet and greet or as background whilst other things are happening. Main show is if you're wanting everyone to gather around and watch something. That's really clear in my first email. If on the day the performer turns up and they're expecting a show, you kind of go, well, there's no leg for the client to stand on because I gave you my stipulations ahead of time. So if you have certain things that kind of keep cropping up at events that are issues, or that you kind of know you need, do mention it to us, because we can put that out there right away.
Like dietary requirements, Beth tuning in. If you're a vegan and a flight's been booked, just be like, hi, I'm a vegan. Most of the time we'll say, what's your dietary requirements?
Yeah.
But if, you always turn up and there's never any vegan options, it sounds really small, but it will make you happy. And, the more information you give us,
yeah.
Or for example, you've dyed your hair red and you don't know maybe that a client has specifically requested brunettes, and then you show up with a brand new do or dreads or whatever you've done, and just over communicate. Or if you've got a new tattoo, like a big sleeve, tell us.
Yeah. Also, hello, Christopher Madden. Mr. Creepy is here. Looked at that one.
Amazing, thank you.
Sophia Tandy is here. I think we've answered these ones already. I think a few have popped up. Oh, here we go. James Guy there. Fire shows are everywhere. What makes a fire show stick out for you is worth putting forwards to high-end clients. So for
Based
me,
in a petrol station?
Oh yeah, I only book performers in petrol stations that use petrol as their fuel.
Yeah, obviously. That was a joke.
Yeah, definitely don't
everybody's
use
stupid. That's
petrol
a joke.
as a fuel. So for me, choreography is super important for that kind of stuff. I think even like simple tricks look awesome when everyone's doing it at the same time. So I think for me, like, choreography is really, really important. Especially like you're saying, like, they're kind of everywhere, and things like a podium are now not
a secret anymore. Shh. What is this fuel? It's a
and
secret.
Like the special effects for like fire, like a lot more people are using them, so that doesn't particularly make you stand out. But an easy thing that people can't be bothered to put time into, like, shows and choreography. So if you do that, you'll instantly stand out from people.
And costuming.
Yeah,
because
costuming.
For me, sometimes someone might have all the talent, and a
lot
lot
of
of
harem pants.
Yeah. For example, I have such a talented performer on my books, and he spent years and years, like, basically committing his life to Searwill, and his only videos in an elf costume. So no matter how many times I say to a client, I know it's a Burning Man theme.
He won't be dressed like this.
He won't be an elf. just like film in like a relatively, you know, plain, not plain, I suppose, like a costume that, unless it's a themed like Gatsby act, costume that could be put into many scenarios. Just like a smart, really nice, glittery costume, rather than like, you know, something overly themed like I'm an elf. So yeah,
something we found, like both of us were discussing this earlier as well over the years, that clients are often not particularly they can't visualize things, so we'll often be asked for like exact photos of things. So like you're saying, like if you've only got a video of you as an elf, then a client that's booking a Gatsby thing isn't going to book you purely based on that. And you can send them a photo of you, I can send them a photo of the outfit and a photo of the act, and they just can't imagine two and two together. A lot of our life is spent trying to kind of create photos for things that don't.
Or people say like, oh, why does that one act always get booked a lot from you? Probably because we had a shoot and they just want the costume from the shoot or the performer from the shoot. So that's also another reason to put yourself forward for photo shoots, because you'll get more work because the client wants the person in the photo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there's a fire photo behind us. There's me, gold.
Oh, look at you, you're so gold. Oh, I love gold. Alessandra, you are welcome. Hopefully that was helpful. Oh, Andy Wakeford is watching. He is the director of Flambe. So everybody say hello to him. And yes, Pippa is my admin. Her mind is blown that Steph does contact juggling. Now we're all like, oh my god, Steph does contact juggling. Yay! Here we go. Oh, one from Bubba. So Michael Bubba Hans, how long would you wait to reconnect with an agent?
More than a day. Like my biggest grind is like people that will email me like 5 times in the same day. Like, I'm not even kidding, or message me each day. Hi Gemma, hi Gemma, hi Gemma. It's extremely annoying. However, also don't send me an email and then not again for another 8 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
it depends what you're kind of after. I mean, if it's like we've put you forwards for an event and you haven't heard back, please don't chase that every single day to find out if it's going ahead.
Wait until you get another inquiry when you then actually, or like a personal thing that you need to do, because for us, trust us, we are chasing bookings and we are trying to get them confirmed. And obviously sometimes it does prompt us to chase them again, but sometimes if we've chased our client 3 or 4 times, like we don't want to annoy them. And that means it's probably not going ahead at that point. But yeah, like we have our database of dates. If we haven't heard from anybody in a certain amount of time, we will be chasing that for you anyway. So it's kind of, do chase it, because sometimes things can slip the net, but yeah, please don't send an email like every day finding out what's going on. And if you do, this is my number one thing, please do this, reply on the thread, because
don't make a new thread.
No. Or the worst, ring me. So you're not the person who initially inquired, so you don't know anything about it, and you've just been like asked to chase all these bookings, and you're doing it on daytime. And you've been told to, you know, I'm going to just chase all these bookings. Do it on the thread, because immediately we have that information to hand, and we can just tell you straight away.
Please,
and it sounds
keep
so
things
obvious.
in the same thread. It's so much more helpful.
And also in the title, if you want to be extra OCD like us, just write like the date and everything like that. The date and the location.
Also, most of the time, I will put the date and the location in the subject header, and the amount of times I get an email back going, let me know what date and location it is. It's just there. Read the things. Anyway, Andy says, Mikey O'Donnell and I say hi. Yay! Hello, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
We have Laura Red watching. Hello there.
Hello.
And the beautiful Loretta. Sorry, I've been bobbing in and out. Are you saving this live video to the group? Yes, we are. So you can watch that back and hopefully find many answers to questions whenever you want.
This is a long video. Will it upload?
Josh Morris only killed that one guy. I'll let you off because it's you. You're kind of the, organizer of this. So I will let you off killing one person.
How did you find out, Josh?
I thought we covered our tracks. So James has also been involved.
James has lots of time for sarcastic online comments. No, I'm joking. We love you, James.
We've got Catherine Arnaboldi. Hello there. Ailey has another question. Performer networking with other performers on a gig you have booked that performer on. Is it breach of contract? This is a bit of a grey area as well. Obviously, kind
of yes and no.
If you book them,
I would say, personally, if you've never met them before, so they're brand new to you, and you are then talking to them on a gig about booking them for another gig and mentioning
100%
you,
yes, not.
I would just save that and ring us up and say, oh, I met this really nice girl. Would you mind?
Yeah.
Whereas if you already know them, it's kind of like we can't stop that happening because you already know them.
And it's like things like Facebook have brought everybody together in a way that people wouldn't have known each other before or had the opportunity to meet people. So it's kind of harder to like manage all that kind of stuff and keep an eye on it.
I think just be like aware of you know, your agent, because you know, we don't mind. However, just ring us, because I've had people like completely replicate a costume, but they've called me up first. So I sort of are less angry at them, and they're like,
to be fair,
understand
it's
the
true.
reason.
If someone asks about something first, I'm normally far more amenable to just being like, yeah, okay.
Whereas
when
when
someone just does
you've
it,
had
I'm
the
like,
audacity to ring me.
But yeah, no, I think Gemma's right. If it's someone who you've literally never heard of before, and then it's like, oh, I've got an event next week that's looking for X, Y, and Z, and you do that, it's kind of not okay to just go, oh, here's my card, I'll book you for it.
Because it's kind of like self-promotion, which is one of a standard terms and conditions, which is like, don't promote yourself, don't give out any information, etc., etc. But even then, if you got added to like a WhatsApp group, for example, for the night, and then you message them the next day, just give the agent a call, because then you're not treading on any toes. Just to
I think
be on
that's the best thing
safe
to
side.
do. If you're thinking something you're doing might be wrong, it probably is.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those things. It's like, do just ask us.
Yeah, just ring.
Because for us, it might depend who the performer is as well. Like, because
It might be like, never book them, don't care.
Yeah.
Or it might be someone who we've like searched for years, and they're the only person that doesn't. We finally found them.
Yeah.
And then everyone on that gig just like, oh, great.
Yeah. I think that question's very much all down to context.
Yeah, it's a big grey area. Sorry, I got hiccups.
Yeah, I think that's so not 100%.
Sorry.
Helpful answer with that one.
Ring us and check.
Basically, ring us and check. Andy Wakeford. My rainbow harems are lush and fire shows. Don't diss them.
We love
the
harem
rainbow
pants,
harems.
but some clients don't.
Pretty much.
Abby, hi.
Hey, Abby. Abby Grandrod is online. Hello there.
Any photo shoots coming up?
Susie
Thank you for
Pegler.
being so helpful. I actually have 2 shoots coming up, which both are not organised. Number 1, Enchanted, because I have like 10 new Enchanted costumes. And number 2, for my chandelier prop, with chandeliers and sparkly things and mirrors.
Very sparkly.
It's very sparkly. That's why I haven't put it away anywhere.
it's
Everyone's like,
like,
is
it's
that where
so
it lives?
pretty.
And so many people love it. Because a lot of the units on this block kind of do really boring things like glass and wires, and
exciting.
there's an envelope company here.
Oh, stop it!
I know, so they all come in
Stop
here
it.
and like, what's that sparkly thing?
It is quite fun. Our postman loves coming to our business unit, especially on like photo shoot days, and I'll be there on stilts in a ridiculous outfit, like, hey, yeah, I'm a peacock.
I'll sign for that.
Yeah, you're half changed or something, just like, I'll sign for that, sure, it's interesting. Helena Parsons, my bestie, she's there. Hello, Helena. Right, Sophia Tandy says, hiya, would you say it is worth contacting agents with not only your skills but your costume selection as well? 100% yes. Not basis but any theme specific costume. If you have your own costume, you are so valuable to us.
Logistics.
So yes.
Gone.
Logistics. Our life is logistics. I always tell people this. I can't juggle balls. I juggle logistics. And
I carry bags.
Yeah, and if we don't have to prep one more costume for the coming weekend, brilliant. So yeah, do let us know and send us photos of any of the. If you haven't got photos, kind of let us know
Or just lay them on the floor, put them on a mannequin, or put them on yourself.
Yeah, because we don't particularly care. Like, because if it's something similar to what we've got, we can kind of send our own things out. Or a lot of people kind of go, it's generic Circus. So as long as we know you've got something that's like high quality, then
don't send us like 50 or 60 pictures of like identical like black trousers, white trousers.
No.
Just list those and then send us nice pictures of.
But
of the
really,
ones.
really helpful to know.
But yes, let us know.
If
Thank
people
you.
have their own costumes. So Mark J, on behalf of Loz,
Hello.
what can a hula hooper do to be ahead of the pack? Am I one of the more expensive ones?
No, I'd say you're the mid. Well, for me, you're the middle.
Yeah, I'd say
Because I'd say there's.
you're probably like a little bit more on the, but then like you're super talented and more established. And you
funny.
have a lot more, bows to your arrow, because you can do the whole like kind of stand-up style compare stuff, which is really rare, especially for a female. It's like a massive skill. So I kind of feel like your price is fine.
For me, for the hula hoopers, even though like it's not just price, I always think some hula hoopers can do 6 hoops, some hula hoopers can do 4 hoops. So there's sort of like that price sort of like edge, as in like if you can do 6 hoops and they're pixel and you can program them to put logos on, then yeah, whack your price up. If you could only do like 4 as a maximum and it's right at the end and it's more about like the dance space, that's great, but again you're going to have a ceiling price. But if you want to ask us about that, and we can just tell you, just say for this particular gig we think this price would be more suited, or you know, you can charge a little bit more on this one. Literally
what's just put there, cool, I should charge more then?
Well, it depends. I would always say, tell me your fee you would like, and then if you think, oh, I don't want to miss out on the gig in case someone else has quoted £100 lower, then tell me your lower fee, because depending on agents, some agents will just go for the lower fee, but I don't know why, because we make more money with more expensive acts, because if we put our 20% commission on, if your act is £500, then we're going to earn more than £400.
I think it depends again on like what the event is. Like if we know the client and the agent, or like the event better, we kind of know what price range they might go for anyway. So if it is a super high profile one, then I guess we'll try and mention that to you. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think you're a great level of where you're kind of.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, new person.
Hey, sparkly friend.
So yeah,
Terry's in this picture too. There's Terry.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
Should we do a close up? Just for fun. Let's do a close up. Terry. Oh, there she is. All gold.
Famous.
All gold and shiny. Oh. She's also. Let's just do a fun thing for a second. We're being quite serious. Look at this. See, like not many people notice this. I'll try. Turn the camera around. So this photograph, oh look, lovely ladies on stilts, but Photoshop error by Gemma. There's Terry's legs, but not Terry's body. So yes, that's a good Photoshop.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, there's lots of nice. Look, there's Hayley. Oh, Cabaret Rouge. Let's do a little tour.
Let's do it. You have some good photos up.
Yes. Oh, John in the tank. Oh, not John. Sorry. Oh goodness me, I'm getting it wrong already. There we go. Natalie Fish. Cabaret Rouge, lots of stuff. I'm just going to go around for a minute, and then we'll go back. We'll go back to the serious questions. This I always think looks like an elephant trunk, but it's not. It's a person's hand. And there's lots of pyros. There's Naomi. It's my husband. Lots of lovely things. Anyway, big splat on the wall. Lots of people ask me about that.
What, the splat on the
wall? But
what's its significance, Gemma?
Oh, yeah, I know. Should we go upstairs quickly?
Oh,
As I'm on the move. Let's go upstairs just quickly.
In this pause, if you have more questions,
guys, put your questions down here. Sorry, we're not trying to like stop. We have been talking for a while though. Right, let's turn the camera around. So up here is official music / Evolve rehearsal space. For those who think, where does official film all his videos? Well, it's here upstairs. And basically, yeah, a video wall. So if any performers want new promotional material, want to come along, there's a pretty good setup here.
It is.
Yeah, la la la, there we go.
More artwork.
Oh, more artwork, yes, that was a present from me. I didn't paint it. I paid someone more talented than me to paint it. But yeah, sorry. I just thought that tour would be fun. And
I'm always fun.
She's also a comedian available for bookings and has high quality promotional material to back that up. But yeah, anyway, we'll go back to the desk because apparently I can only answer questions there.
Yeah, I know. Why?
I don't know why. We'll have to go back. Well, the seats are here.
The seats are here.
Here we go.
Sit down here.
We're back in our corner,
we are.
Which I actually call uni corner because look. There's lots of unicorns around.
Gosh.
I know. Sorry.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Right.
Oh, Michael Fish.
Oh,
hello. Not many people know your first name. My husband's first name is Michael.
We have a new one from Godbolt. Do performers ever try to bribe you to push their acts? And if so, what works best?
I wish. Some people send us hampers at Christmas, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's
nice. I don't think I've
nice.
ever been like bribed by someone to use them.
But not like a bribe, but people are just nice and then we prioritise. Be nice again.
Yeah, do nice things.
Yeah, or if you're coming into the office, what I loved, and it was very unexpected, I didn't expect this at all, people were turning up with like a bottle of wine or flowers or
that
chocolates.
does go down
Chocolates?
well. Chocolates?
I love a chocolate.
Love a chocolate in me.
It's from the country.
But no, actually, a few of our performers at Christmas time kind of brought us in some bottles of wine and things as a thank you.
So it's not a bribe, but it helps.
So that was really nice. It is, as an agent, it is nice to know that you're appreciated by people, because we do slog our asses off to try and get things in. And it's nice, like I often get feedback that like people on Flambe gigs get more details from us than they get from most other agents, which is really nice, obviously, because I spend a lot of time, because obviously I think the benefit of us is that we are performers ourselves, or like have been or whatever, so we kind of know what we need to know when we get to an event.
I married her to get more gigs. That seemed to work pretty well.
The plan has come
that
through.
Bribe, that was the ultimate
bribe. Ask us to marry you. That will
propose
do. As a bribe.
I think no one's ever bribed me, but I'd say that like I just in turn reward people. So for example, this is a nice shout out. Sarah Turner is very helpful to me, and so I offered her the Sardinia job when somebody dropped out. Obviously someone dropped out on a raw job, but I offered that as a bonus, really, because I didn't need her initially, because it's mostly skilled artists, not saying you're not skilled, but there wasn't many multi-skilled dancers, etc, etc. It was like a contortionist, acrobats, etc. So she's now coming, which is amazing. But again, she gets work every single week from me, sometimes 3 to 4 gigs a week, and people are like, why are you giving Sarah your work? Well, she's always sends me a photograph. She always replies to her confirmation and does everything she's supposed to do, and takes the costumes because she drives, and just does a brilliant job for me, and I always get great feedback. So again, like if you're like, oh, why does Sarah get all the work? Well, because Sarah's extremely helpful. So big up to you, Sarah.
Woo!
And I gave her a bunch of flowers again to appreciate, not a bribe, but again appreciation.
It's definitely all about like relationships, and that's what one of my talks is kind of going to be about at the Make Performing Your Business kind of seminar day as well. It's about like, as an agent, we're not in it for a one night stand. Like that is what I've literally given it as the heading.
Speech already ahead of October.
I know, so prepared. But yeah, I think it's really important to know that I'm not in there just to get you like one thing. I want it to be like a valuable relationship both ways. So I think hopefully any agents, or like kind of good agents, or ones that you want to work for, are kind of in it for you as well. And I think because we're both performers, we know a little bit more about what you need and what to kind of look out for. So
but also in turn, even if we are extremely thorough and say 99% of our gigs are brilliant, and you get the odd gig. I had a gig this weekend which was very difficult, not due to me but due to the client. They didn't read anything they signed. So, there wasn't the right changing room, there wasn't the right contact number, like there were so many things. And again, like I can't help that person hasn't read that, they're not supposed to have a toilet as a change room, etc, etc. But those performers know, because they always work for me, that it's not me, it's the job. So when they're giving their feedback to me, I love that they were honest and they told me, which I can then pass on to my client and make a note for myself, that if they book again, I can say, well, last time these things, weren't met, then I can then fix that in the future. So if you're worried about feeding something back to us, like, oh, there wasn't this and they said that, just tell us.
Yeah, we need that feedback,
because we actually need that feedback. Yeah definitely. Just repeat exactly what you said. that was a good comment.
Basically call them gifts, not bribes, and then it's fine.
Exactly. Give us gifts.
Give us gifts.
Be nice. Give us gifts.
Give us gifts.
No,
you don't have to give us gifts. But I think we're up to date with
There's the baby. Oh, there.
Where's the baby? Hopefully not here.
Hopefully not. The door's open. Plus, Evolve Entertainment is obviously amazing to work for.
See, there you go. We like hearing these things.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is we just want to help you get work, and then you can help us get work by being good at the job. So it's sort of a two-way street.
It is, absolutely. So I think we've kind of wrapped up. I think we've hopefully answered everything.
Yeah, and we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah, what time is it?
It's almost been 2 hours. Can you believe that? I haven't eaten lunch today, and it's 8:20.
We're really sorry for rambling on at you.
I'm sorry.
This long.
But hopefully you enjoyed. If you didn't see the tour, at the beginning.
Here I am.
At the beginning of the video. Watch your back, 'cause it's only like a minute. It's quite funny. Well, we made ourselves
we
We
spent
thought
more
it was
time planning that than what we were going to talk
what we were
about.
going to talk about, because we know that we're really chatty and whatever. So
The inner performers couldn't
if
wait.
there's any last questions, quick, send them in.
Yeah.
Send them in. If not, come to the talk
Yep, come to talk.
in October and ask us then.
Or once this video has gone kind of finished and been popped back up here for you all to watch back, if you have any other thoughts, then pop them on the end and we'll try and
that's the
answer
same
them.
question. You're amazing.
Thank
thanks.
you.
Oh,
Chris
hi, Chris.
Clayton.
Hi, you're just in time for us to say bye.
Hi, bye. Great
Hi,
to
but
see
you can watch this again. Thanks, bye. Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
so
See
Josh,
ya.
thank you for having us. It has been an absolute honour.
Thought it was brilliant.
Good. Lots of people say that they found things helpful. That is good. Look, having
Oh,
whilst
while I
I cook.
cook.
What have you
What are you
made,
making?
Ailey? We're
Make us
starving.
stuff.
Yeah, post it.
Give us gifts. No,
Loretta. Oh, do you have facility to rig in your filming space, Gemma?
That is one of the things I really wanted. However, building regs were saying no. So I basically can, but it's not like a standard thing. So I'd have to pay to get the whole ceiling weight tested, which I would. However, with this particular unit we're in, this is a really long-winded answer, I'm sorry. It's basically we can only be in here for 3 years and then we have to move. And I've already been here a year and it doesn't even seem like 5 minutes. So if this is my unit forever, 100%, I definitely want to do that, because one of the things I wanted to do as soon as I moved in here, but I didn't realise how much my business was going to grow, was offer portfolio filming days where you can get photos and videos in our space, which I want to do in the future, but I know that aerial is something that a lot of people struggle to get the rigging, so that's something I really want to do, but I feel like I might have to do it in a unit that I'm going to be in longer term.
Because we've got a kind of similar thing, is that we've just moved into some new Flambe HQ offices, which are super exciting.
Let's do a tour. Let's do a tour
of that one next. It'll be, can I dress you up in different places as well? Just Gemma hiding in corners. But yeah, we do have the ability to rig off them, and we know it has been like all load tested, everything correctly, but it's not the prettiest place to have things done yet. So it's definitely a thing that's interesting.
Social media tags.
Oh, Abby, hello Abby Grant. Abby said hi, but we now have a question as well. Social media tags. Do you credit agents for costumes as well as the agent that booked you if they're different agents?
Yes. Just tag. And also, what annoys us is when someone writes a really long-winded thing and does loads of hashtags and then loads of little dots and then another load of hashtags and then writes you right in the middle, because it kind of says to us, you don't want to tag us and you're just doing it because you sort of trying to hide it. So again, if you tag us, you're more likely to get more work, etc., etc.
Yeah, but if you're wearing someone's costume, it's always nice to mention that in there, and they'll really appreciate that. So I think social media. Be nice.
Be nice.
In fact, as you say,
and hi.
Be nice every day. That's one of your lovely catchphrases. So.
Yeah, and if you're unsure, if you tag someone, so sometimes when you're subcontracted through quite a lot of agents and you've been employed by, say, Evolve, but when you get there, there's lots of other agents there and you're like, just ask. So whoever employed you, if it's not written on your confirmation, which of course you have read in detail, then ask. Because for me, especially at a private party, a lot of my private party events, almost all of them, don't go online. Yeah. Because you're in someone's home. So
a lot of them do say like no social media, or social media blackout and stuff on some of them. So you kind of it's always good to check, I think, if you can. I mean, some of the things that we've been kind of saying is if, say, you're on a Flambe gig, we'd ask you to tag us and send us the photos, and then we'll share those photos and tag the people above.
Also, don't check in to the venue.
Yes, don't do that.
I write this, but don't check into the venue. I have made this mistake actually with your gig because I thought it doesn't matter, but it did matter because obviously anyone going to that event can look on the checked in and then find whoever's checked in. So sometimes it doesn't matter and sometimes we want you to promote it, but just always ask or read your confirmation just to double check.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that is it.
I think that's we can go eat.
Woohoo! Yay! Although Ailey has not sent us any food somehow via the magic of internet yet, so we shall starve, Gemma.
I have mango. I was supposed to eat for lunch. I normally eat lunch, but today has been extremely busy.
One of those days.
Preparing for you.
Exactly. But yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We hope it's been helpful. Put us any other questions, pop them on here, and we will try and answer them. But yes, thank you very much, guys. Fading.